The Golden Bachelorette's Joan Vassos discovers major secret about Chock Chapple after working through family drama. February 6, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. The Golden Bachelorette star Joan Vassos found out a major secret about her fiancé, Chock Chapple, when they took their first vacation alone together to Cancun, Mexico. Joan and Chock got engaged at the end of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1. And since then, they've been working through the drama of trying to bring their families together and being in a long-distance relationship, especially during the holiday season. They're still getting to know each other after getting engaged after such a short time knowing each other, and they're discovering new things every day. Chock revealed a secret to Joan that she never knew about him. In an Instagram post, Chock revealed a secret to Joan, which was that he was afraid of heights, something that she never knew about him. While on their Cancun vacation, they went parasailing, during which Chock divulged his fear to Joan. He said, "This is kind of new. This is cool." Joan then asked him, "Are you afraid of heights?" Chock answered, "A little bit," to which Joan responded, "You never told me that you were afraid of heights." Chock answered, "But I didn't want to tell you." Chock laughed, and Joan said, "Oh no." She then added, "So high up," and screamed. In the comments section of the post, Golden Bachelorette host Jesse Palmer pointed out, "This would have been a great one-on-one date idea on the show. You never told me that you were afraid of heights." What Chock's secret means for his relationship with Joan. Joan and Chock have been engaged since July 2024, but they're still getting to know each other. The fact that Joan didn't know that Chock was afraid of heights proves that they still have a lot to learn about each other, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Since they didn't rush into marriage like the Golden Bachelor's Jerry Turner and Theresa Nist, who got divorced just 3 months later, their relationship has a much better chance of lasting. Chock's fear of heights isn't a big deal for their relationship. However, the fact that Joan didn't know about it shows that they're still finding out little details about each other that make them who they are. They know that they align on the big things in life, such as their values and their goals, and now the little things will come to light as they continue to build their relationship. Our take on Chock revealing his secret to Joan while up in the air. It was very sweet that Chock didn't tell Joan that he was afraid of heights until they were up in the air. He'd do anything to make her happy, and he most likely didn't want to hold her back by revealing his secret. He probably thought she'd say that they shouldn't go parasailing if she knew about his fear of heights, which is a wonderful thing because she wouldn't want him to do something that made him feel uncomfortable. This is most likely why Chock didn't want Joan to know about his fear of heights. If Joan and Chock had gone on a Golden Bachelorette date that involved heights, as Jesse suggested, then she would have learned about his fear then. Instead, they spent their first one-on-one date at Disneyland, where they began to fall in love. It's beautiful that Chock conquered his fear of heights with Joan by going parasailing with her on their vacation in Cancun. Hopefully, the Golden Bachelorette couple's relationship will continue. Never imagined that her journey on the Golden Bachelorette would lead her to discover one of the biggest surprises of her life, not just about love, but about the man she had chosen to spend her future with. After a whirlwind season filled with romance, heartbreak, and unexpected twists, she finally found her match in Chock Chapple. Their love story had captivated audiences, but it was only after the cameras stopped rolling that Joan learned something that could change everything. Adjusting to life post-reality TV. Since their engagement in July 2024, Joan and Chock had been navigating their new life together. Long-distance love wasn't easy, especially with their families adjusting to their whirlwind romance. Joan, a devoted mother and grandmother, had initially faced some skepticism from her children about getting engaged so quickly. Chock, too, had his own family concerns to work through. Their journey hadn't been seamless, but through it all, their love had remained strong. With the holiday season behind them, Joan and Chock finally decided to take their first romantic vacation together. Just the two of them, in Cancun, Mexico. The goal was to relax, reconnect, and enjoy each other's company away from the pressures of family and public scrutiny. What they didn't anticipate was that this trip would reveal something entirely new about Chock, something Joan had never even suspected. Chock's unexpected confession. One sunny afternoon, Joan and Chock found themselves standing on a white sand beach, staring at the clear blue waters of the Caribbean. The resort they were staying at offered a variety of adventurous activities, and Joan had always wanted to try parasailing. Seeing the excitement in her eyes, Chock agreed. As they were strapped into their harnesses and lifted high above the ocean, Joan couldn't contain her joy. "This is amazing," she exclaimed, the wind rushing past her face. Chock, on the other hand, remained eerily quiet. She turned to him, noticing his grip on the harness was tighter than usual. "Are you okay?" she asked, a slight concern creeping into her voice. Chock hesitated before responding. "A little bit." Joan raised an eyebrow. "A little bit what?" Chock let out a nervous chuckle. "A little bit afraid of heights." Joan's eyes widened. "You never told me that you were afraid of heights." "I didn't want to tell you," he admitted with a sheepish grin. Joan laughed in disbelief. "And you waited until we were hundreds of feet in the air to tell me." Chock shrugged. Figured it was too late to back out. The implications of Chock's secret. While Chock's fear of heights wasn't a deal-breaker, Joan couldn't help but reflect on what it meant for their relationship. They had spent so much time focusing on the big things, family, values, and their future, that little details like this had been overlooked. "It just goes to show how much we still have to learn about each other," Joan mused later that night. "And that's not a bad thing." Unlike the Golden Bachelors Jerry Turner and Theresa Nist, who had rushed into marriage and divorced just 3 months later, Joan and Chock were taking their time. They understood that real love wasn't just about grand gestures, but also about discovering and embracing each other's quirks, fears, and vulnerabilities. Chock's revelation was a small yet significant reminder that they were still on a journey of discovery. "It's the little things that make a relationship special," Joan later told her fans on Instagram. "The big things matter, but the small things, that's where the magic happens." Facing fears together. Despite his fear, Chock had braved the experience for Joan, and that spoke volumes about his dedication to their relationship. It was a testament to his willingness to push past his comfort zone to make her happy. The next day, Joan decided to return the favor. She knew that Chock loved snorkeling and had been eager to explore an underwater cave nearby. The idea of swimming in a dark cavern made Joan uneasy, but she decided to conquer her fear just as Chock had done for her. As they swam through the crystal-clear waters, Joan's heart pounded. Chock noticed her hesitation and took her hand. "Just breathe," he whispered. "I've got you." Joan squeezed his hand and nodded. And in that moment, she knew love wasn't about finding someone perfect. It was about finding someone who made you brave enough to face your fears. A relationship that continues to grow. Joan and Chock's vacation in Cancun turned out to be more than just a getaway. It was a turning point. It reminded them that love is about discovery, patience, and supporting each other through both the thrilling and the terrifying moments. When they returned home, they continued to embrace the adventure of getting to know one another. From learning Chock's favorite late-night snack to discovering Joan's habit of talking in her sleep, every little revelation brought them closer. Joan often reflects on that day in the sky. "Chock could have told me about his fear of heights at any time, but the fact that he waited until we were up there just made it all the more special," she says with a laugh. "It's moments like that that make love so beautifully unpredictable." As they move forward, Joan and Chock remain committed to taking things one step at a time. They may not know everything about each other yet, but they're in no rush, because the best love stories are the ones that unfold naturally. The future looks bright. With their relationship continuing to deepen, Fans can't wait to see what's next for Joan and Chock. Will they finally settle in the same city? Will wedding bells ring in 2025? Only time will tell. For now, they're simply enjoying the journey, proving that love doesn't have to be rushed, it just has to be real.